How you going? Stories with Tom, and we got our next guest live on the Zoom meeting with us, Tahnia Ravnjak, however you want to say it. You know what? I've been lucky to know Tahnia through our golfing circles, and she's been chomping at the bit, I think, to come and have a chat with us today, which I'm really looking forward to. And so, as I said in our last interview, this is all about real people sharing real stories and really showing what it means to be proud of who you are. And we're going to start off like we do with every episode and ask the question that has transformed from being transformed from being an honest question about how you're actually feeling to a greeting in Australia. But Tahnia, how you going?
How you going?
How you going?
I'm actually really good. Thanks.
Yeah.
I played golf today, so feeling really good right now.
One of the lucky ones that can actually get out on the course. I know I can't. My course is closed at the moment, but I'm sure I can get over the park and hit a few balls. But that's cool.
Yeah, there's only one course open at the moment, and it's a members-owned course. So obviously the members voted to keep it open, which is awesome. So
Beauty.
I mean, not for practice or anything, but you can play 18 holes and then go home.
Yeah.
So at least I can do that, which is awesome.
Yeah, see, and then I'm guessing if I'd play in there, I'd have a lot more shots than you, and I'd be out there for a lot longer, so I'd probably get the value out of it a lot better than you.
I had quite a few shots today.
Hey,
it was good though.
Look, thanks for joining us on this, and again, like I was saying to you off like before we started recording, this is something that I've created because it's something I'm passionate about. I've had my own battle with mental illness, and you know what, today and the last couple of days I've really been struggling, and so I've been really looking forward to doing this, and so thank you for the opportunity.
No, thanks for having me. It's an awesome opportunity, and I'm really glad to be on it chatting with you.
Yeah, cool. So look, we've got a bit of a schedule, a bit of a script that we'll go through, but as normal, it's just about having a chat, and it'll go off temper and off camber everywhere. So firstly though, who are you? What's your name? Where you from? Give me a bit of a background about who Tahnia is.
Me, who am I? Well, my name is Tahnia Ravnjak. I'm 26 years old, and I'm from Wollongong, New South Wales, just south of Sydney, for those of you who don't know where the Gong is. Born and raised here, grew up playing all sorts of sports, and my whole life grew up pretty much in the Illawarra region.
Cool. I've been lucky enough to spend a bit of time down in Wollongong in the region there, played a bit of footy there when I first came over from New Zealand. So I know
awesome.
what a beautiful area
good place. Yeah, it's a real good place.
So when day to day out in public, who's a public face? Like who does the public see Tahnia as?
Well, I am a professional golfer. That's my job. I play on tour, so I'm a full-time player, and I mean, I'm always in golf clothes, so I guess whenever I'm out in public, I mean, people just see me in my golf outfit, and I mean, I've had funny looks, you know, when I go and get lunch or something from the mall or whatever, and people are like, oh, like, what are you wearing? You know, but I guess day to day, I'm known as the golfer. That's pretty much
golfer. Yeah,
me, I guess. Yeah.
And then so I really want to dig down a little bit more on the golfer, but before we get to that, so that's who you are now at 26 years of age. So before you were the professional golfer, what other roles did you have? Who else was Tahnia?
Wow. I guess sport has had a massive impact on my life. I've always played sport, been involved in all different sports, like at a high level, state level for a lot of sports. And when I wasn't playing golf, I didn't really start playing golf until I was about 14, like competitively. So I did, and I still played soccer up until I was 17. So, and that's when I really decided just to play one sport, and then I decided to pursue it further, and I went to college in America and did that. And but other than that, I guess I guess I've always been known as really sporty, and always someone that'll put their hand up to join in on sport.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds and I know from having the chat from you beforehand, like yeah, you've told me a few things like that. Really interesting though, like about college in the States. I've had a few mates that have gone over there, and I know what a like, especially around this topic, what we're talking about, like about creating your own identity and being proud of who you are. What was it like being an Aussie female sports person and
Oh my
college in
gosh,
the States?
it was so awesome.
Yeah.
It was so cool. Yeah. I mean, I guess coming from two different backgrounds as well. Like my dad was born in Croatia. He's from there and moved
Okay.
here when he was a kid, and so he's pretty much lived here for forever. But
Yeah. Right.
yeah, so having two different sides of family, and I guess it was always kind of hard for me because, you know, when I'd be with my Aussie cousins and my Aussie family, I'm like, wow, yeah, like this is awesome. And then, but then when I'd go and be with my Croatian side of the family, it's like, wow, like I really feel connected to this as well. So it was, and a lot of my cousins as well, like both of their parents are Croatian. So like my dad's
Okay.
brother,
Yeah.
his wife, they're Croatian as well. So my sister and I are the only two that aren't like both parents. So I guess it was always really hard to find like where you belong.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
being, because I mean, I'm very much an extrovert and love talking to people. When you asked me to do this, I was like, yes, get me on there.
Yes.
No, but
The
yeah,
right
I
one.
guess. And then when I went to college, I don't know. I kind of feel like when I was growing up, everyone sort of knew what they wanted to do, and I just knew that I wanted to travel and I really wanted to play golf. So I wanted to do something like that. And you know, being Croatian, everyone plays soccer. So like, I mean, I don't know any other Croatian girls who play golf, to be honest. Like, and so
Yeah.
that was kind of like a standout thing for me. And you know, then going as a junior, growing up playing junior golf with all these kids, you sort of create like this little bubble that it doesn't matter like where you're from, like you're all just golfers, you know. And I loved that because I really felt that I fit in to that sort of, that I guess community vibe, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, and then, you know, everyone was going through high school and just wanted to go to uni and live at home, and I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to do something different, and I couldn't wait. And so yeah, I applied for college and I went to college in North Carolina.
Wow.
I
Okay.
studied for 4 years there, and well, I was actually lived there for 5 years.
Yep.
When I graduated, I played on the golf team. I had a Division 1 scholarship to go, so it was like a dream, really.
Wow.
And then I stayed for another year, and I was the assistant coach. But yeah, just moving over there, and it was almost, honestly, felt like I could just create someone new because
Yeah.
nobody
Right.
knew who
Okay.
I was. I had no connections over there. I was at a brand new school. I will never forget my very first English class. I was late because I had the wrong timetable, and I couldn't find the classroom, and it was just, oh my gosh, it was a nightmare. But it was all right. I was like, it's okay. I'll just walk in and sit down. Anyway, they were doing I had to sit up the back because I was late. And so I'm sitting there, and you
Extroverts
had to
hate
go
that.
through the whole, what's that?
Extroverts hate having to sit up the back. I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's going through the room. The teacher's like, you have to stand up, say what your name is, where you're from, why you're at Canberra University, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, oh gosh, I'm late, and now everyone's going to know where I'm from. Like, I just wanted to sit there and like listen, you know. So everyone's like sort of doing their thing and introducing themselves. And then it gets to me, and I'm like, how's it going? I'm from Australia. And everyone just lost it and turned around and like, what? Like, because where my school was, it was literally in the middle of North Carolina, in the
Wow.
southern part of the world, like a Baptist school, like tiny community, really like country kind of town. And to
Yep.
hear like, who the hell comes from Australia to North Carolina? Like, that's what everyone asked me, like, why would you come here all the way from there? And I mean, it was pretty
Southern
cool.
New South Wales twang going on too.
Yeah,
Oh, I
the
love it.
whole time I was there, you know, I'd get people to say, oh, like just talk, say something. We just want to hear your accent. I'm like, it's not that great, trust me.
It's funny you mentioned English because when I first moved from my small town in New Zealand to country New South Wales, so only a couple of hours away from you, I was in English class as well, and the teacher, she's going around the class saying, all right, who hasn't done their homework, or who's done their homework, and nobody put their hands up. And she said,
Yeah.
fair dinkum, you lot. Nobody ever listens to me. Why am I here? And I just lost it laughing. And like, remember, this is my first day at school.
Yeah.
And then she's like, what's so funny? And I'm like, I thought only Alf Stewart on Home and Away said fair dinkum. And so that was my baptism of getting picked on with the way I spoke in English class as well. So, yeah.
That's so funny.
So I can definitely relate to what it's like, in a completely different environment, going to school, and really like recreating that person that you want to be. But so, like moving on a little bit from that, or like building on that, and you said you get to create that person that you want to be, and so it was a golfer, it was an Australian, it was someone who's traveled, but like what?
An athlete, just like athlete in general. People don't really consider golfers athletes, but I mean, to me, it was everyone. If you were an athlete playing, or if you were someone playing a sport at the college, like you're an athlete, and like that was awesome.
Yeah, I totally get it. I definitely know. I remember my doctor said to me once, like, what physical activity am I doing? I told him I was playing golf at least once a week, and he's like, no proper activity. And I said, mate, like we walk at least 10K. There's gym routines. Well, I wasn't in the gym at that stage. I was probably more on that.
How many Ks did I walk today? I'll tell you.
There you go.
Keep going. I'm going to check.
Yeah, but see, it's going to be a little bit different because
10 Ks on the dot.
Yeah, but yours are straight, like mine are side to side. So
mate, I was sideways today. I tell you that much. I was like, oh God, I have to go over in the bushes over there.
Awesome. And by the way, we both made sure we got coffees before we started the chat. So
coffee lover. That's me. That's
coffee
part
lover.
of my I am.
Yeah, wicked.
Lover.
So like I was thinking about a topic or a central theme about like what we could bring everything back to today, and I really want to focus on something you said just before as well about not just the golfer, and I reckon that started like you started talking about that with like the Croatian background and not knowing what side you fit in on. But I'm interested to hear like more about the States and like what did it, that moment about what did it feel like about being that Aussie athlete in a school in the middle of North Carolina, which for people who don't know can be quite intimidating, I'm betting.
Yeah. I mean, for me, from the moment I stepped on the campus and like set up my room and everything, I was seriously just felt like on top of the world. It was so good. I mean, I didn't have anyone there like telling me what to do. I could make my own decisions. You know, I'm 19. I just moved my whole life across the other side of the world. I could literally make it whatever I wanted. And to me, that was just like the ultimate feeling. It was so good.
Yeah. I bet you that feeling, like any fear or trepidation or anything would have been overcome with that. Wow, look, I've got this opportunity. I've created this opportunity for myself by chasing these dreams and actually probably getting out of your comfort zone a little bit, but actually going, like you said, to the other side of the world.
It wasn't too bad. Comfort zone wise, I think the only thing would be just adjusting to their style of learning, and the accent was a bit hard to get used to because it's in the South. You know, my gosh, they drag everything out and all the words. Oh, it's just anyway, it was just full on. So that just took a bit of time, and you know, people tell stories and you're like, oh my God, just hurry up and tell the story. They talk so slow. And like, could tell that story in 10 seconds. Like, just spit it out. And then for me, one thing actually that I noticed a lot is that this sounds funny, but like coming from Australia, you know, we talk a bit boganish sometimes and like change our words and whatever. But when I went there, I honestly couldn't speak like that because they could not understand anything I was saying. So I found that my pronunciation and, you know, the way I spoke was so much clearer. And it actually, and when I listen to videos and stuff, I'm like, oh my gosh, do I really sound like that? Because I don't talk like that at home, you know, but if I didn't talk like that there, they'd have no idea what I was saying, you know, so I sort of had to adapt to that.
I
which I
totally
think
get
is a
that.
good thing as well, because now when I'm, playing tournaments and doing interviews and things like that, I actually speak properly. I don't
Yeah,
speak like, oh yeah, I just like whacked one over in the trees. Like, I talk properly. So I guess that's a benefit, if you want to call it that.
totally is. I remember when
Yeah.
I was living in Japan, and I gave my dad a call, and he said on the other end of the phone, like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah. Why is that?" He goes, "You're speaking really slowly." And I didn't even realize I was still doing it, but because
Yeah.
I was working in an environment where I was trying to teach a bit of English and things as well,
Yeah.
I really slowed down everything
Yeah.
and
So they
enunciated
can
it.
understand.
And I didn't even realize I was still doing it. And so, yeah, it was quite funny. Good
That's
stuff.
awesome.
So then let's talk about sports then, because, hey, I love
Yeah.
sports, you love sports, and it's by the sounds of things been a very important part of defining who you are, like in at the moment anyway. So golf, I know, like one of my big goals around heading into the light, things like that is to prove that golf isn't just a rich white man sport, and show the benefits
Yeah.
to anybody
100%.
that can actually get involved in golf. So what else has
Yeah.
golf given you?
Wow. Golf has given me so much, other than not just on the course, but
Yep.
the ability to develop social skills. Like you could literally sit me down with anybody of any age, and I can have a full-on conversation with someone. And I think just,
Wouldn't believe it for a sec.
as a junior, um, just being able to, mum would make me, well, in school holidays, she's like, do you want to go play in the ladies comp on a Tuesday? I'm like, yeah, I'll go. Mum's like, is there anyone in particular you want to play with? I'm like, nah, just call my name down.
Yeah.
So, I've played with ladies like anywhere between, 30s to 80-year-olds. And that was within the last 15 years. I go to the golf course now, and some of those ladies are now like in their 80s
Yeah.
and are still there like playing, and I can literally just go out on the course and have a game with them.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
I mean, that's one thing. Definitely how to be disciplined. That is like
Yeah.
huge. I learned that from a very young age as a junior. What else? Yeah, I went through the Illawarra Academy of Sport, and we'd have sports like sessions and how to speak to the media and like all these different things. And
Yeah, cool.
we had a schedule that we had to stick to, like a program of what we did for practice and all these different things. And it really like taught me a lot of discipline. And I was the kind of person, I love having lists and love to tick stuff off. So
Yeah.
the fact that they could give us that, and I would feel guilty if I didn't do it. So I'm like, no, I've got to do it. Like even if I was tired, whatever. Like it definitely taught
Taught
me
you
a lot
those
of
life
discipline.
skills as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I use all those things that, in my professional career today. And I
Yeah.
mean, if I didn't have those things, I definitely wouldn't be where I am right now. So,
Well, yeah, like coming back to that, like I know that we touched on at the start that you're now a professional golfer, and so well, I won't give away too much, but like you said you're on tour.
yeah, I play on the Australian tour and the China LPGA.
Wow.
However,
Okay.
I don't think I'll be going there much
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've cancelled most of our events, at least up until May. So, I
Yeah.
mean, but to be honest, I'm not too keen on traveling there at the moment. So we'll see. But that's been put on hold for a little while.
Now, on that, and bringing it back to the topic of mental wellness and things like that, like you're talking about being very disciplined, and you like making lists and you like ticking things off, and I'm gathering just from what I know of you, like you're probably disciplined around your food, your training. Yeah, you signed us up for the push-up challenge, so you must be.
Yeah, I'm so keen for that.
Now, when something, and I'm not going to talk the COVID stuff, but when something happens that throws a curveball like this at you, like it's your livelihood, but it's also your passion, and almost what defines that person of who you are.
Yeah.
What, like, A, how does that make you feel? But like B, like what do you do about that?
Yeah, well, I actually have an example, not COVID related, but so, for instance, I turned pro in December 2017, but the season didn't start. I turned pro in December, ready for the 2018 season.
Cool.
Starting in January on the Australian tour, and I played a few tournaments, and then I was tossing up and down like, oh, should I go to China Q school? Should I try and get my card? I spoke to a few people and they're like, no, it's not worth it. Like, it's not good. It's too difficult, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I left it for a couple of days and I thought, you know what? I just had this gut feeling. I'm like, I really want to go. I just said to mum and dad, like, it was kind of expensive, not too expensive compared to like other Q schools. And I was like, I'm just going to go. I'm just going to do it. So signed up middle of the Australian season. I went over to China. So I missed an event to go over there, which, didn't bother me because I was like, well, if I don't go, Aussie season finishes in March. But if I do go to China and get my tour card, I have tournaments until December. I was like, I'm willing to risk one event to potentially have another 15 for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So anyway, I went to China. I got there. I was like not really feeling it. I had a few things that I felt uncomfortable, and that was a massive comfort zone like threw me. And I'm usually pretty good. Like if something I'm comfortable being in an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah.
I can just figure it out. But anyway, I just wasn't feeling it. So I just wanted to play golf. I just wanted to play the tournament, finish in the top 30 to get my card and come home. Like that was my goal. I just wanted my card. I wanted to come home and just get out of there. Like I just really wasn't having a good time. I ended up winning the qualifying school.
Wow.
So it gave me full exemption. So it was ridiculous. But so I ended up winning. I was so stoked. And then I stayed with this lady. She was awesome. Came home. So my prize for winning was playing in this massive co-sanction event with the Korean tour, which is like really high level Korean tour and the China tour. So that was in Brunei in March. So I went to Brunei. That was like a whole other experience.
Yeah, that's a different beast in itself.
I went to Brunei. Then I went to China for 2 more events. So I had 4 weeks I was gone total. And so I've come back to Aussie, played the rest of the season. Like I'm feeling great. I've got 3 tournaments lined up for my, to start my pro career on the China tour or whatever. I get to Brunei. I'm practicing. I'm hitting balls on the driving range, which are on mats because they don't let us hit off the grass until the actual tournament.
Okay.
So the day before the tournament, I'm hitting balls on this mat, and it was on a slab of, they were on slabs of concrete with grass, that fake grass on the thing. So I'm hitting and I felt this pain in my hand. I'm like, oh, that's not good. Anyway, I kept hitting, and it was and then it got worse over the week, and I didn't think anything of it. I thought I went to the doctor, obviously language barrier, that didn't speak much English. He was like, no, you can play, you'll just have to push through the pain. They thought it was tendonitis or something. Oh, well, if it's just that, I'll keep going.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I go to the next event. I shot 1 over in the first round. And then in the second round, I was in so much pain. I shot 7 over and I missed a cut by 1. Oh, so wow. I was devastated. And then I went to the next event. So I've missed 2 cuts in a row, gone to the next event, the last event before I was coming home, and I was in so much pain. I couldn't even pick up the club off the ground. I don't even know how I finished that tournament because I was in tears. It was so painful. Anyway, I got home, went to physio. I went to doctor first, and he's like, oh no, it's just it's just, I don't know, soft tissue, whatever.
Yeah. So
I left it for a few days, couldn't even pick up my club. I was like, no, I'm just going to have a couple of days off because I didn't have any tournaments for another month and a half. So then I went to physio, who's my physio that I go to, and it's within 5 minutes, he's like, no, I'm sending you for an MRI. I was like, are you serious? So I go there. Anyway, it turns out I have a fracture in my hand here. And he said that it had started off as a stress fracture from that first tournament. But because I kept playing and kept hitting, the position where it was hitting that rotating movement there was like rubbing on the stress fracture, and then like the twisting motion like snapped it, and I was like, I'm so stupid. So anyway, I had no idea. Like I mean, I could hit the ball. It wasn't going very far, but like, you know, so that put me out for 3 months. So I've literally just gone from this ultimate high, playing in my, you know, playing, and there was a lot of pressure as well because I had just won the qualifying tournament, and here I am expecting to perform at these 3 events, played like shit, and then come home, and then I can't play for 3 months. So going back to how I deal with that, like that was like the start of I hit like this super low, dark, ugly depression state, and I didn't really know it was happening until probably when I was able to start, you know, being able to putt again and chip again. So probably 2 months in is sort of when it got kind of bad, because I knew that I couldn't do anything for that first month or so anyway. I was like, that's all right, I'll just have time off and deal with it. And then it wasn't getting any better, and it was still painful. I couldn't even, like, you know, I'd go and just pick up my pitching wedge and try and move it pick it up off the ground with 2 hands, and I couldn't even do that because it was so painful. It just wasn't getting any better. So yeah, I think I just hit like this super low point, and it was awful. And I went on medication for a year, and then I finally come off it, and you know, it's been really good now. But I think I just went through, it definitely helped me. And at the time, it definitely is not something I'm proud that I had to do that. But I look back now and I'm like, you know, it helped me get through that that point. And it could have been a lot worse if I didn't choose to like go see a doctor or do something about it. So I'm glad that mum took me, but that was an awful time. I mean, but I mean, lucky for me, even though I was in a really bad place, I'd still try and, you know, do things, keep busy. I'd go to the gym. Obviously I couldn't use my hand, so I was just doing a lot of like fitness and lower body weight, whatever things I could do without using my hand. So I found ways to keep busy, but I feel like at the same time doing those things was more of like a like to numb the thoughts of like thinking about my hand and all the things I couldn't do. So in a way it was like, I was doing all these things, but it was really to like take away the pain of the other stuff. So
wow. Well, thanks for sharing that. That was I didn't even know that story, so that was awesome. And you know what, that's there are a few things that I heard in there about, you know what, like the challenges and facing them, but also knowing that, hang on, I'm not Superwoman. I've got to do something about this. And I think that's always my message when I'm talking with anybody, when I'm doing any of my speaking stuff, is that, you know what, like, everybody needs help every now and then, and it's okay to actually get help. And I say, like, especially because I've come from like playing rugby growing up and all of these sort of things, and you know what, if you were to break your bone in your arm playing rugby, it's almost like a battle scar, and like you're proud to show that cast off. But when there's something else going on inside, and it's not quite working, and it's maybe broken, that like we're always so scared to actually ask for help and admit that, you know what, something's not right. So well done.
I think that was hard for me as well, because I never thought that I mean, I had a lot of friends and lost a friend to that through depression, but I never thought I would actually be the person that would ever have that, because I'm so outgoing, but like I'm always the one helping other people, you know what I mean? So when it happened to me, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't ask these people, because I'm normally the one giving them the info or like the help or advice or just being there for them. I'm like, I can't ask these people because they're normally the people like coming to me for the answers. So I found that really hard.
Wow. I totally resonate with that, because that's why I didn't get help for so long, because I was always me too. That one that people came to talk about things going on with them, and I'd seen family members go through it, and I didn't want to admit that I was having that problem. And look, it almost cost me my life, and I can talk about that now fairly openly, but I was at a stage there where I had this mask on it, and I would let nobody close enough in to see that there was actually something wrong. So wow, thanks for sharing that. So
All good.
you know what? Like you're back though. You're back playing. Well,
Yeah.
COVID throwing something another spanner in that, but you're strong enough to get through that now. And so taking those messages that you went through, the harder times there, and what you've learned. Like I always use a metaphor of taking off the mask and actually being
Yeah.
proud of who you are underneath. So when you were in that position, and how did you take that mask off? How did you see that, hang on, you know what, I need help, but I'm coming through the other side. I'm going to be a stronger version of myself. Like, was there a point there?
Yeah, I feel in the beginning, I remember my mum thought, she actually thought there was something wrong with my sister. Like she thought she was upset or something like that. And then my mum actually made comment that, oh, I think she might have depression. And then, because for ages, like I couldn't say it. I couldn't even like talk about it. And me and my mum, she's like my best friend. So I can literally tell her everything. And it was so hard for me to tell her that. So when she said that, I was like, okay, if you don't say something right now, you're never going to tell her. So I was like, no, mum, I don't think it's her. Like, I think it's me. And then I just lost it and broke down, whatever. And then the next day she took me to the doctor with her. And then I was like, I can't talk. I was so, I don't even know the word. I was just so shallow and embarrassed. I didn't even want to tell the doctor. Like I didn't physically want to say like I'm depressed. I didn't want to say that. So my mum had to say, like, I sound like I'm 5 years old, but she had to tell the doctor for me, because I literally, I sat there and it was like I wanted to say it and I couldn't spit it out. So I think that's when I realized, like, you know, okay, I have to sort of let this go and just accept it. And yeah, I was injured, so I couldn't really do anything. So I didn't, in that time, like it probably didn't help that I didn't go out with my friends. I stayed at home. I went to the gym like every day whenever I wanted to go and get stuff done, but I really didn't do anything else. And I think by like me feeling embarrassed, like impacted that a lot, of like restricting me from going to do the things that I always do. But yeah, I definitely learned a lot in that time, and realized that it's all right to, you know, ask for help. And I mean, probably a lot of people are going to watch this and now more people are going to know, but nobody really knows. Like only like my family and a couple of my friends. Like I don't usually tell people about it, unless, you know, I had a friend who was like struggling with it, and then I said, oh, like, you know, I'm here to help. I've like been through it and all this. And she was like, oh, no way. Like, you really? Like, I would never pick that. I'm like, yeah, well, you just never know, you know, what people's stories are. So yeah, I kind of kept it pretty private until now.
And thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
And trusting,
no, that's all right. I'm like comfortable talking about it now because I don't feel the way I used to feel.
Awesome.
And I feel like if I talk about it now, you know, it might be able to help someone else. Which I felt like I didn't have that when, you know, I didn't know anyone that I could talk to about that, like I said, because I was always helping others. But
well, and you just nailed exactly why I created Hitting Into the Light, why I created these stories, like these chats, these catch-ups, because that's what I searched for when I was going through the start of my problems and the start of this illness. And I wanted to know that I wasn't alone and going through it. Not so much that I had someone there to talk to, but that I wasn't the only person on earth having these feelings and experiencing this. And like if we can share this message that, you know what, it is hard, and the hardest thing is to take that mask off, to take that first step to actually say those words and actually go and see someone. And look, if anyone's listening, Lifeline, Beyond Blue, those sort of things do make it easier, and the online chats and that sort of stuff. And look, I'd encourage you. I still use them. I've, like I said before, I've been really struggling the last couple of days, and just out of nowhere as well. And I know I can recognize those signs now, and hopefully do something about it.
It's weird, isn't it? Like there was that period of time where I was so bad. It almost felt like I was kind of trapped. Like I'd go to bed and I'd just lay there and I'd stay up all night because I couldn't go to sleep. And then when it was daytime, it's like I just wanted to sleep all day. And then even when I was better with my hand and I was able to go practice, it was like I didn't want to go. Like I would lay in my bed and I knew that my mind was like, oh, my body was like, I physically wanted to get up. Like I was itching to get up and do something, but my head was like, no, we're not going anywhere. And that I really struggled with that for such a long time, like at least 6 months, which really affected my golf because, you know, I wasn't putting in the hours of practice that I needed to because I physically couldn't get up and like go and do those things.
Yeah.
So,
and I always have that feeling after that as well of then blaming myself for not actually getting up and doing it.
Yeah, and it's exhausting.
Yeah,
It's
and those
so
thoughts just
exhausting.
go around and around, and that's why starting those conversations and one tip that I always give people, especially young people that are like around technology and things like that, is this thing here can be your best friend. Like the video recorder, the voice recorder on there, I just talk to that because it gets those thoughts out of here and actually makes them real. So Tom's magic tip for the day. There you go.
Yeah.
But look, hey, look, I'm feeling quite emotional now because like you're sharing that with me. Like that's amazing, and I thank you. Like I'm really, really grateful for you sharing that. And look, like I was saying, it's a whole point in creating these chats, talking with people from different backgrounds that have been through different experiences, but around that central theme. And you know what, the hardest thing to do in this world is be proud of who you are. And actually it takes us, it often takes everybody, that doesn't even make sense, but it takes everyone to go through something, whether it be severe, where it might just be something minor, but to actually go, you know what, I want to be the person that I want to be, and I want to be proud to be me. So when being proud of who you are, if I say hashtag proud to be Tahnia, what does that mean?
What does it mean to be proud? For me, I think to be proud of myself and how far I've come on the journey and just sticking to the process. I think my ultimate goal, like to stay healthy, just look after myself, to look out for others, talk to people, give back to the community. That's huge for me. And to be kind. I mean, if I can do those things, I can truly say that I'm proud of myself. And yeah, that's what I'm proud to be. So
yeah, cool. Well, look, I don't think we can say too much more about that because I think it's a perfect little wrap up. And you know what, I know that we could keep talking about these sort of things, and we've both got stories that we can talk, which is amazing. And I thank you so much. What I really want though is, you know what, we touched on some pretty important points throughout this chat, and you know what, you started off, you were driven, you had these goals, and like you got them, like you achieved that by winning like Q School. And then things didn't go your way, and like that's when things drop. And my takeaway on that for anybody who's listening is, you know what, these things happen. It does happen, and
you can't control those things.
100%. And you know what, it's okay to ask for help to rebuild on these things. And whether it's you're just setting out and you hit that wall or that stumbling block, or you're at the top of the game, like winning Q School was like, that's huge. And I was sort of thinking how I was going to bring that into the conversation because me being me, I did a bit of research and things like that about stories that you have. But and so like whatever it may be, we don't know what's happening within someone's personality, that person's perception is reality. And your reality at that time was, you know what, my life's falling apart now from this injury, and it's all falling apart. So thank you so much for sharing that and having the confidence in me to share it in this forum.
Yeah, of course. I think one last thing, anyone who's listening, like if they feel that they don't have anyone, I mean, I know for me, you know, I really relied on my team, like my parents, my coach, my strength trainer, my sports psych, my physio, you know, this whole team of people that are in my corner, you know, pushing me to be the best person I can. In that period where it was so dark, that I really felt like I was letting all of those people down because I wasn't like living up to what I should be doing.
Yeah.
But it's not that I didn't want it. It was just that I couldn't do it. And, you know, when I finally opened, I ended up opening up to my team, like all those people, and was like, look, this is where I'm at. I'm really struggling. I can't do this without you guys. And I mean, they've been there for me, you know, through the whole way. So I feel like it's super important to have a team of people that you are comfortable, you know, opening up to and expressing your feelings. And like, don't be embarrassed to ask for help, because I mean, I still, even to the day, like, say, oh, if I don't play well in a tournament or not doing things that I want to be doing, I feel like a bit like I've let them down. And they always say, like, don't think like that. Like, we're always here for you. You know, we're part of your team. Like, we want you to achieve whatever you want to achieve. Like, we're going to always be there. So I guess, just finding the comfort in those people is really important.
Awesome. Cool. Love it. Well, I don't think I can say much more after that. So thank you so much again for having a chat.
No, thank you.
Look, and another takeaway from this is, you know what, guys, start that conversation with someone if you're not feeling like yourself, or hey, you want a bit of advice, or if there's someone out there that you think may be going through something, and you know what, it's okay to drop that. You know, Beyond Blue has this chat line, or there's a text.
And usually as well, it's the people who you would never expect.
Yeah, exactly right.
So
I think you got two examples of we hit that pretty well. So
yeah,
great stuff. Rightio. Well, I think we'll sign it off there. Follow us.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. I really enjoyed it and telling you guys a little bit about my story, and hopefully I've helped you in some way or another.
Great stuff. Well, you definitely helped me. Look, I've taken a fair bit out of this personally as well. So thank you very much.
Awesome.
Cool. Rightio, guys. We'll see you on the next edition of How You Going? Sharing Stories with Tom.